Hi, I'm Melissa, and this is my channel, Creations from the Heart. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. If you are new, welcome, and I hope you stick around for a while. If you like what you see and you have learned anything, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to see my new upcoming videos. Full disclosure, I have had to reshoot the beginning of my video. I lost the footage somewhere along the way. So you will see some slight differences between the beginning and the end of the video in some of the materials I used. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Today we will be making a Hocus Pocus wreath using the crumple/ruffle method. So what you will be needing is you will be needing your 14-inch wire wreath frame. You will need 4 deco meshes in the colors of your choosing. I have this orange that I used from that I had a bunch cut up from a prior project that I wanted to use up. So we will be starting with that. I used purple, green, and a buffalo check. Used about 2 rolls of each of these. And I had 2 rolls of this spider web tulle. The tool that I actually end up using in my project is orange and not purple, but I did run out of my orange to show you the orange. You will need a sign of your choosing. It's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus signs. I have one of these little witch hats. Some Chenille stems or pipe cleaners, whatever you like to call them. Some witch legs. I did wind up using some other witch legs on my project that I have that were actually from the Dollar Tree. That one was, I believe, from a 99-cent store, but I used the ones from the Dollar Tree that come on one of those little rings. And what I did with those was I just took them apart and stuffed them with the inside tubing roll that comes inside some of your mesh tubings, the smaller ones right here. I put 2 of these in each one of the legs and then hot glued them shut, just to give it some extra bulk. You will need 3 clamps, or you can, if you don't have clamps, you can use your wooden clothespin hangers, just something to help you hold your pieces together. And you will need some ribbon of your choice. I have some orange spider web, some black and orange buffalo check. I have some spider web webbing and some black and white buffalo check. I also have some bat ribbon, which I only had just enough to make 1 bow with, so I had started that out in my Bodabra, so you will see that in the next section. You will need your wood burning tool, or if you don't have a wood burning tool, you will need scissors or a rotary cutter to cut your ribbon with. Some scissors. And if you are using the wood burning tool, you'll need your plexiglass. I'm still waiting for my plexiglass to come in, so I'm using regular glass for the time being. And you will need your measuring mat. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our project. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to cut out our ribbon. Now, for the crumple method, most people use a lot larger ribbon. They use the ribbon that's in the 20 inches or larger. But as I said, I was using up some prior ribbon that I had already had cut, some mesh that I had cut from a previous project, and it was already cut. It was a little over 9 inches, so it'll be cut back to 9 inches to get off the frayed edges. So that's why I'm using so much of the other mesh colors, is because I want to make it full, and since I'm not having the 20 inches to make it full, I'm using more of the other colors, if that makes sense. So to get started, I use these ones. I'm going to clean up the edges. So I just get it on one of my measuring lines. and cut it straight down. Okay, and then I'm going to measure out the 9 inches. You're going to need 36 bundles altogether, so I do make 18 of every color. I did go ahead and pre-make my bundles ahead of time. Makes it a lot easier if you just do your bundles ahead of time in your project. It just goes by a lot faster. This method does kind of take a while with all the different bundles that you're making. So I usually just sit down in front of TV and watch some TV while I'm making all my little bundles. And then I come back together and put my wreath together after I have all my bundles made. So I will have 6 bundles within each section, which means I'll be making 3 of each bundle. So for this bundle, I'm going to have 2 of these, I'm going to have 1 of the orange and I'm going to have 2 of the buffalo check. So I'll be making 3 of these. Be very careful with your wood burning tool. Okay, and then I'll be using the buffalo check. And I'll be using 2 of these per bundle. So I'll need to make 6 of these. So it's always easier to use something heavier like your scissors to hold out your roll. Oops. Scraps out of the way. And I always start each one when I open up each roll, just in the same manner that I did the other one. I want to have a nice clean edge. So I'm going to line it up and cut off that edge. All right. And then I'm going to measure out my 9 inches. It's 1. 2, 3. Forgive the dogs in the background. 4. 5. And one more of the buffalo check. And then the green, you need 3 of the green. And 3 of the purple. I like using the wood burning tool because it sears those edges in and helps less fraying with your projects. And deco mesh from the Dollar Tree tends to fray very easily. As you can see, the little strings. And when you're cutting this, you want to go in between the 2 lines. So as your deco mesh has your main course lines that connect everything, you don't want to go along that main line. You want to go in between those lines to seal it up. Okay, so now that we have our curls cut, this is the part where we put them all together. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. And you want to do your spider web webbing. You want 3 of those. I have some that are pre-cut here. These I cut to 12 inches because they're not as full as the regular mesh. They lay differently when you put the tulle together. So I cut those to 12 inches. You can't use your wood burning tool with these. You do need your scissors or your rotary cutter to cut those. Okay, so now you're going to get your 3 clamps. Your pipe cleaners, you want to cut them in half so you get how many you need to cut them in half. Remember, you're going to be making 36 bundles all together. So you need 18 pipe cleaners cut in half. Just like that. So I have mine cut already over here for these bundles. So the first one I'm going to start with is going to be the buffalo check. And I'm going to make a curl at the end, roll it over on itself once. I'm going to take the clamp, turn it over, roll it over on itself, and then I'm going to walk my fingers straight through the middle, and then just take the clamp and put it over the whole thing, and that makes this kind of little crumple ruffle. Okay, so I'm going to do that to another of the buffalo check. And when you have the longer pieces, the 20 inches, then your ruffle is much bigger. Your curl, you can usually do your curl over 2 to 3 times to make that curl in there. And what the curl does is it also just kind of helps to seal those edges in between the curl instead of it hanging out to get frayed so easily. Okay, and then I'm going to grab one of my orange ones. Walk it, clamp it. Okay, now that I have all of my ruffles made, I'm just going to put them together. Clip off any little edgings that you see. So I'm going to start with my buffalo check, and then I'm going to put my orange down on top of that, and then my buffalo check is going to go on top of that. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. I'm going to wrap it around the center. I'm going to fold it up so that I know that it's nice and even. And then I'm just going to twist it really tight. And that makes my ruffle that I'm going to make. All right. So I'm going to make 2 more of this color. Walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it. Clamp it. Walk it. Clamp it. And then my orange. Walk it, walk it, walk it. Clamp it. And then I'm going to put them together. Buffalo check. Orange, and sometimes it'll want to come out on you. Just scrunch it back together as you have it in your hands. And then the buffalo check on top of that one. Grab your pipe cleaner. Fold it in half to make sure it's even. And then twist it real tight. And there's another ruffle. Fold it over. Walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it. Sometimes getting that little curl going can fight with you just a little bit. Walk it, walk it, walk it. Clamp it. Okay, so I have all 3 of my ruffles for my first section of that color. And for my next section, I'm going to take my green. Same way, just going to make those crumples, whatever you'd like to call them, in the same manner that I did the other ones. Just make the curl, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it. Clamp it. Same thing with the purple. And as you see any strings, you can just cut those off as you go along. All right, and then your spider webbing tool is a little bit different. We're not going to make the curls with those. We're just going to walk these all the way up to make a ruffle. So just walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it. Okay, so it looks like this. And we're going to take our green. I'm going to put our purple on top of our green. And instead of putting the tulle on top of the purple like we did with the other ones, we're going to put it right on top of both of them. Okay, and we're going to hold it together. Grab our pipe cleaner. Just like we did before, we're going to fold it in half to make sure it's all the same size. Twist, twist, twist. And then here these ones are with the tulle that just lays right there on the top. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, I'm going to make 2 more of those. And you'll want to put them together in the same manner so that your wreath will be cohesive all the way around. And one more. And the green, the purple, and then the tulle right on top. Okay, now that we have all 6 of our bundles made, we can go ahead and put them into the first section of our wreath. So within our wreath, each one of these is a section in between your cross bars here. So you have 6 sections. And how we're going to put these together is we're going to stagger them on here. So your first one is going to be on your outside 2. And then the next one, we're going to come up to your second and third. So you're going to put your first one on your outer. Twist, twist, twist. And then I like to just kind of wrap them around like that. So that hides all the sticky up part and keeps you from poking yourself. Okay. Now, what you want to pay attention to is if your mesh has any slight differences. Like this orange one right here, it's a several color, goes from oranges to red. So I've got orange on one side and red on the other side. So I put red on the outside. So every time I do one of these, I want to make sure that the red is on the outside. Okay. And then your next one, the same manner, I'm going to put this on starting with the green. So every time that I put this one on, I want to start with the green. Okay. So now I'm going to go over here on the second and the third. They like to stick to each other, so just watch that. And again, just twist, twist, twist. Wrap it around. And then just push it together. Okay, and you're going to go back to the first one. Again, paying attention to the red is right here. I'm going to go back to that outer. Okay, grab the green and the purple. Making sure I put that green in the front. I'm going to go to the second and the third rings and attach it. And back to my orange of my buffalo check, the red on the outside again. Attach it to the outside. And then the last one, again with the green on the outside, and it's going to go back to that second and third row. Okay, so now I have all 6 of my bundles in that section. It's going to make for a very, very pretty colored wreath. It doesn't look like, it looks like it might be like a little bit of gapping right now, but once you get all of your colors all the way around, it's going to keep pushing those together and it's going to make it nice and full. Okay, so I'm going to go away for a few minutes and I will be back when I have the wreath completed. Okay, and we are back. So I have completed the wreath. Look how nice and full and pretty it looks so far. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a bow for it. Place that out of the way. I have started making the bow over here with my bow dabra. I do have a link in the description box for the bow dabra as well. I'm not an expert in making bows, but this does help me a lot. Generally, I measure out how big I want my tails. In this case, is 7 inches. And then on my loops, I just measure where I want them here, up here to the top like this. And I just make sure they go to the top. And then each layer, I just copy from the previous layer. So this is the bat ribbon that I was telling you about. And this is all the ribbon that I had left of the bat ribbon. So I wanted to make sure my ribbon size was to this. So that's why I went ahead and started the ribbon here. So I did want the plaid to go underneath that. So I matched it up and then I just switched them around. And now I'll add the other ribbons that I would like to add on top of that. So I think the one that I want to be next is going to be the orange spider web. Now you can see it's only pretty on one side. So what you have to do is you have to twist and turn when that happens to keep the pretty side up. So I'm going to measure out here, make the tail the same size. Okay. I'm going to twist and then I can fold it over. Match it up to the same size. Again, twist it. Match the bow size again. Bring it down, and then I'm going to cut it at the same size for the tail. Okay. And then next, I want to add this buffalo check to bring in that buffalo check. I'm going to do the same thing. It is the same on both sides, so I don't have to do the twist and turn. Just measure my bows. Make sure my loops are at the same size. And then the one that I want on top is going to be the spider web. It's kind of see-through-y material. So I chose that I wanted to have that on the top. And this one is glittery just on the one side. So I will be doing the twist and turn with this one. Twist. Twist. And then cut. All right, and once you have all your different ribbons in there that you want to complete your bow, you're going to get a pipe cleaner. You're going to grab all of your bows together tightly. You're going to take that pipe cleaner, wrap it around the center. You're going to pull it tight and just make several twists. Okay. Then you're going to bring it down, place all your tails going downwards. Okay. And then I like to dovetail my ends. So I'm just going to fold my ends, and then you cut from the seam side going down to the wired edge. I'm going to do this for each one of your tails. And it gives it a nice finished look on your bow. Okay. Then you're just going to take and fluff out your loops. You want to pull one up and one down. Pull one up, pull one down. Pull it up. Pull it down. Now my plaid one's not wired, so it's just kind of there. It's easier to fluff it out once you get it onto your bow or onto your wreath where you want it, and then you can kind of fluff it out a little bit more. Right now it kind of looks a little bit of a mess. So then I'm going to decide where I want to put the bow. So I can put a bow here. And put the sign in the center. Or I can put the sign off to the side and maybe put the bow at the top. Or the bottom. I think I'm liking the bow better as a bottom. But the question is, where do I like the placement of my sign? I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it just yet. I'm going to play with it and figure out where I want to put it, and I'll come back. But for my sign, all I did was I flipped it over and I just hot glued some floral wire, and then I'll just feed the floral wire through the frame where I want it and secure it. But I'm not going to put it down too tight because I want it to sit on top. I don't want it to smush the mesh down. I'll be back in just a few minutes for the final look. And here it is, all finished and on the door. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like the video and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a great day.